had this client many years ago who controlled billions of dollars, and I mean lots and lots of dollars. This client trusted me very well, committed to me several properties that he had, collected documents from the bank and handed over to me to help him conduct certain transactions. Somewhere along the line, we had a misunderstanding, and my guess is that he thought a job I had told him I had done wasn't done, because we went somewhere to verify and someone said it hadn't been done, and that they demanded then ₦1 million to be able to do it, and that was just a job of about 150,000 naira, which I had done basically, So we had that misunderstanding, and eventually the client got angry, turned his back against me, asked me to surrender all the documents that were with him, or with me rather, from the office, and to basically write a handover note to him, which I did. And as at that time, I felt pretty bad. I felt pretty bad and sad for very many reasons. One, I felt the trust he had for me had been breached. Beyond that, I felt, well, this was a viable client and through whom I would probably make lots of money from. And he kept telling me that, kept assuring me to hold on, not to drag and struggle over things, because money was eventually going to come. And he had the capacity to make me pretty rich as at that time. So I felt pretty bad about these factors. And then, that relationship had grown from a client lawyer to an elder brother and a younger brother relationship. We could discuss nearly everything. We could discuss nearly everything. He sought for my opinion on things that I thought he already knew, but just probably needed corroboration or confirmation to do. So I felt bad and I felt truly rejected. It took me some time to be able to acknowledge that we had parted ways, and to acknowledge that the parting of ways wasn't for harm, it was for my own good. It was for my own good. As at that time, it didn't seem that way at all. It wasn't funny, because it didn't seem that way at all. And as at the time that we parted ways, he had just developed an estate of about 8.5 hectares, and he had committed selling the estate into my hands, more or less. Being the lawyer, he had already committed himself to giving me 5% for every transaction, whether I sold the property or not. As long as someone came to buy, I was entitled to 5% for drawing out the agreements and frameworks and whatever. So I saw money literally in front of me, and it was whisked away from me. So it looked like I had been rejected. It looked like I had been abandoned halfway. It looked like at the point of my turning, some car overtook me and crushed me off the road. That was how it felt as at that time. But now, many years after, I truly thank God that it happened, because there are so many things that I see right now that I wouldn't have seen then. There are so many things I've experienced that I wouldn't have experienced if I had still been with him. There are so many things I took for granted that I would probably still be taking for granted if I had continued in that relationship with him. So this is an encouragement to everyone who feels abandoned, everyone who feels disconnected, everyone who feels rejected by people that you have looked up to, or even by systems that you have hoped will open doors for you and take you to newer heights, greater heights than you could ever imagine. Just know that the road ahead of you is much more beautiful, than the road from where you are coming. Okay? There are several people that I know of that have been rejected. Some historically written, others I've had personal relationships with them. But let me share the life of Joseph with you. You know, if you are a keen student of the Bible, you will realize that Joseph was a young man that had a fantastic dream. He had shared that dream with his brothers. He had shared that dream with his parents as to how he was going to rule over them. And of course, being the second to the last child of his father out of 12, all the others felt slighted. All the others felt insulted for him telling them that dream, or for him ever dreaming that dream. They felt truly, truly insulted. And so one day, in the bushes where he went to take food for their own good, they threw him into a well. At some point, they removed him from the well and sold him into slavery. And at the place of slavery, he did so well because he was a diligent chap. He did so well at the place of slavery that even the master of his home decided to commit the entire house to him. Everything that was in that house, the master gave into the care of Joseph. Joseph had full control, except for two things. One, the man's wife. Secondly, the things that the man ate. Those were the only things the man knew. But the others, Joseph knew probably much more than the owner of the property. At one point, the master's wife set up Joseph, trying to sleep with him as a sugar mommy, and she set him up. He refused, she framed him, and he got imprisoned, further rejecting him. All right, Joseph suffering further rejection. And in prison, he met the king's butler and baker, whom he told of the interpretation of their own dreams, and asked that when they reached the king, they should let the king know that he was in the prison and so he could get out. But you know what? Those guys went out of the prison and forgot about him. So he spent longer than he thought necessary in prison. But at the appointed time, on the appointed day, the king had a dream, and no one, not even his wise men, could interpret the dream. Then, that man remembered and said, "Whoa, while we were in prison, there was someone we met who did interpret our dreams, and everything came to pass just the way that he said the dreams should come to pass." And I think he's still in the prison. So they went to the prison, got Joseph, brought him out, shaved him, dressed him up, and presented him before the king. And guess what? He interpreted perfectly the king's dream. And suddenly, the dream he had in a foreign land came to pass in that land. Suddenly, he was appointed the king's second in command. In fact, he ruled over Egypt, which was then the superpower of the world. He ruled over Egypt. And the king himself of Egypt did not know anything about what happened in the nation, except for the fact that Joseph reported to him. Now, at the point of rejection, Joseph could have given up, but he chose not to give up. He pushed hard until his dream came to pass. So for everyone out there who feels rejected, let me give you a few tips to help you survive your moment of rejection and to help you hold on until you get to the end of the road to see what God has in store for you. So first, note that when you are rejected, it is simply an interpretation that you have something special in the inside of you. If you are ordinary and like every other person, nobody will think of you strange. How much more of thinking of rejecting you? So if you are rejected, know that it is because you have something particular, something exceptional in the inside of you. Secondly, when you get rejected, do not give up. Do not give up. Look up to God. He knows the way. He knows the end from the very beginning. Look up to God. Hold on to Him. And if just in case you do not believe in God, well, there's no way that I can help you except to say, search for God. You will find him because he's been looking for you. You will find him, and that way you can look up to him. So look up to God because he knows the way. Number 3, be diligent in whatsoever you do. Rejection is not the end of your life. It is only propelling you to a new status, to a new height. That's what rejection does. It changes your course. Because you were off course before, it redirects your course to fulfilling your dream. Number 4, be very expectant. Joseph was very expectant. When he was in Potiphar's house, the man who bought him as slave, he was expectant that the man would set him free. The man didn't. He was thrown into prison. In prison, he was expectant that he would be set free. Eventually, he was set free, even though not at the time that he expected. And number 5, give God room. Give him space. His timing is not our timing. He's preparing you because what he has in store for you has been prepared already. He's just preparing you so you can get to the spot where you can attain all that he has planned for you. So today, for all of us out there who feel rejected, let me encourage you one more time. Be strong. Do not think that rejection is the end of your dream. Actually, rejection rather is a pedestal that lifts you to the next level. Stay strong. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Born to Lead, and don't also forget to share and to make your comments. We will be appreciative to know how you feel about this and other clips that we've done. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.